Y'all, I really drove out here with a whole specific message in mind to talk about. But fuck, some shit just came up that I gotta talk about something else entirely. So, instead of talking about meeting the Greek fakes, I'm gonna talk about my crazy dream because it just feels like people need to be aware that dreams are very prophetic, even if they seem crazy. So let's rewind the clock. It is May 2019. I have just graduated high school. I'm working at a coffee shop, and I have this dream. Now join me. Oh my god, these dogs are so cute. Now join me in this dream as I run it back, right? So, at this point, I had never gone to college. Just graduated high school, right? Sorry. Okay. So, I've just graduated high school, never been to college. I have this dream that I'm driving up to the city that I'm going to be going to college in, and I'm by myself, which is really weird because I was supposed to be going to college, and like this was already planned out. Like my roommate was going to be my childhood best friend of like well over a decade, right? So like pretty solid plan. No, that bitch ain't going anywhere. Like, why am I alone in this car? Sorry, I just have to scoot back. And I'm also driving my dad's car, which I never drove. Like honestly was barely ever even in. So I'm like, why am I driving this car alone to this city? Super weird. I look at my rearview mirror, and the sky looks like how it does kind of now behind me. Super stormy, super cloudy, like big rain clouds, you know? And they're glowing like this deep, deep indigo blue. Like deep, deep blue, but it's like bright. It's neon at the same time. I don't know how to, it's like fluorescent, but it's like a super dark blue. And like the entire cloud, like you can tell there's a light source in there, but like the entire clouds are just radiating this blue color, right? Kind of like how they are now with the sunlight. See, I was just like light. It was just like that, but like blue, a dark blue, not a sky blue. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I changed like the radio because I was listening to my own music. I start changing the radio on my car and like trying to find news stations talking about what the fuck is happening, but like it literally had just started when I saw it in my rearview mirror. Like it was just starting like to start glow and stuff, so like nobody was even talking about it. It wasn't on breaking news yet because most people hadn't even seen it yet. Most people were in an office or whatever, right? But I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm in the middle of the mountains because I lived in Phoenix and I was going to school in the city called Flagstaff, which is like on the way to the Grand Canyon. If anyone's gone on vacation, that might put it in perspective. So you go up a fuck ton of mountains in the forest, right? So I'm in the mountainy forest part when this starts happening, and literally can't find any answers on the radio. My phone isn't connecting to anything. I'm like, holy fuck, like, okay, I'm just gonna chill, because what the fuck? And then in this like booming voice, I just hear, appreciate the normalcy. And I was like, appreciate the normalcy? What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean normalcy, sir? Like, or whoever, ominous voice, the fuck? Because keep in mind at this point, I was 18 and like a Buddhist, and like I was spiritual and like had crazy prophetic dreams all the time, but like I was not the level of spiritual that I am now. So I was like, huh? Okay, so appreciate the normalcy. And I'm like, bitch, who? What? Because I'd never experienced anything like that before, and like this dream was so vivid that I genuinely thought it was real life until I woke up. And like I don't often have that issue with dreams. Like I can usually tell something's different than this reality, right? So I get up to Flagstaff, which is like a tiny little town on Route 66. It's pretty cute. Y'all can look it up if you want to see pictures. I won't talk about more than that. Anyways, it's a really cute historic town, right? So there's like a downtown district of all brick buildings, and like the campus is all brick, yada yada. It's a pretty recognizable place. So I pull into the city because the freeway just turns into the city, you know how freeways do. And I'm like driving through, and there's cars everywhere, but there's nobody. Like there's cars abandoned on the side of the road, kind of like in the wildfires in California, like when they had people were just abandoning the fuck out of their cars, and there were like Teslas and BMWs everywhere, like that. Just like doors open, side of the street. Like it looked like people just at some point just gave up and like started running from something. But like I'm looking around, there's literally nothing wrong. Like there's literally nothing happening other than this ominous blue like light, right? And so which is funny because at this point when I was planning on going up to the school, I didn't have a job. Like I planned to not work my first year because I was a physics student. So I was like, you know, maybe I should just try and study and be broke and be fine with it. So no job, but I did work at a coffee shop and they had a franchise in Flagstaff. So in this dream, I'm like, okay, literally nobody's around. My phone won't connect to shit. The radio's not saying anything. Like, what do I do? I was like, I gotta find people. And so I go and I end up discovering the coffee shop, the franchise that's in that location that I ended up working at when I lived up there, which is funny because I had no intention of doing that. And I start knocking on the back door because it's like a tiny little stand. And I'm just like, hey, excuse me, can I come in? And they're like, fuck no. They're like, ew, get away from us. We don't know who you are. You might have it. And I was like, have what? And they're like, the thing that they're talking about. And I was like, girl, literally what thing? And then they show me, they like finally let me in because I'm like, no, I swear, like I'm an employee. Like I work at the location down in Phoenix. Like, let me in, bro. I got nowhere else to go. And they're like, okay, fine. Because it ended up that one of my friends from a totally different location, not the one I was working at the time, but like one of my old friends that I used to work with was working at this location. And he was the one who recognized me and was like, no, like, let him in. And I was like, oh, thank fuck. And so when I get in there, they're all holding an iPhone, like they're all, sorry, just ignore my broken nail. They're all like holding an iPhone, like crowded around it, watching it, like in horror almost. Like they're all just like huddled around it, like shaking, like they're all so scared. Bro, you know what's on my iPhone? Donald fucking Trump. And he's going like, you need to listen to what they say. You need to listen to the directions that they give, okay? They know better than everything. You need to listen to the directions. And like, I was like, what the fuck? And like, yeah. Basically, I feel like that's where that dream ended. With Donald Trump being like, you need to listen to their directions. They know best. You need to listen. And like, so honestly, I thought, okay, real talk about this. Like, should I just hold this so it doesn't make the weird sound? I don't know. We're already in this far. Just let it rock. Oh shit, no, it's rocking real hard. Okay. When I woke up, because a pandemic had never happened in my lifetime, my only thought was, aliens? Is this gonna be like an alien invasion? Or like, what do you mean do what they say and the sky is glowing? What do you mean do what they say and the sky is glowing, brother? But yeah, I'm so sorry. That's gotta be really annoying. Let me put this back down now that my car's done shaking aggressively, or maybe it's not, whatever. Oh shit, why is it doing that so bad? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a sign to end this message here, but just know that when you have crazy prophetic dreams, because I went around telling everybody about this dream because it was so fucking weird. I was like, what do you mean appreciate the normalcy, bro? And so I was telling all of my friends, and I was like, yo, we gotta appreciate the normalcy of life. Like, I was making them go out to movies, I was making them go to the mall, and they were like, dude, like, you're freaking out over nothing. And I was like, no, the world's gonna shut down. And everybody kept telling me I was crazy, and literally I had a friend like pull me aside, and he was like, you need to stop telling people about this dream, you sound crazy. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. When the world gets shut down, you'll see that I wasn't crazy. And what happened? Less than a year later, the entire world was shut down by COVID. And like, I don't know, dude. And then I just saw another video of somebody talking about how like he had a prophetic dream of like people, the government's like faking an alien attack when something else happens. And he described this guy as the same color. And like the same exact scenario is what I described, just as if he was in a different location when it went down. It's been years since I had that dream, and I've never heard anyone describe anything remotely similar. So next video will be about meeting the Greek fates. This one is about the crazy alien dream. So I hope that gave you some insight about why you shouldn't ignore dreams, even if people call you dumb and crazy, and why you should listen to your intuition and yourself and the Most High and Spirit, and not little humans who think that we know logic better than everything. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.